everybody, welcome back to the family channel.
Hello.
Hi. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we are going to be reacting to the US Navy's $8.5 billion aircraft carrier.
Yep, that's right.
A bit expensive.
Yeah.
Chump change. There's a
Pocket
more expensive
money.
one. There's a more expensive one. I've been harping on about this aircraft carrier for ages now, since I first saw the video. And I don't know whether Kat and the kids are getting fed up with it or more curious. So I've decided to show them the video
Definitely curious.
to let them make their minds up, because I think they're so amazing. I just it's massive. It floats on the sea. It's run by nuclear. I'll shut up and let them tell you about it. But yeah, it's freaking awesome. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button before we get into the video, that'd be freaking awesome. And without further ado, let's meet the Nimitz, the $8.5 billion aircraft carrier.
Meet the Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, U.S. Navy's $8.5 billion beast. The aircraft carriers continue to be the centerpiece of the forces necessary for operating forward. In times of crisis, the first question leaders ask is, where are the carriers? Often, the presence of an aircraft carrier has deterred potential adversaries from striking.
Now imagine you see that coming towards you. What do? The chances are you won't even see it coming towards you, though, because once they'll launch it before they even get near you. The planes will be there.
Against U.S. interests. Aircraft carriers support and operate aircraft that engage in attacks on airborne, afloat, and ashore targets which threaten the free use of the sea. They also participate in sustained power projection operations in support of U.S. and coalition forces. The aircraft carrier and its strike group also engage in maritime security.
Are those little ships always with the motherboard?
Yeah, I think so. I think they always maybe not always with it, but always quite close.
Oh.
It's like the epitome of F around and find out, isn't it? You don't want to mess with
Operations to interdict threats to merchant shipping and prevent the use of the seas for terrorism and piracy. Aircraft carriers also provide unique capabilities for disaster response.
Those are forklifts. So it just shows you how big this thing is. Those are forklifts. And there's how many in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh,
I can see
yeah,
7.
there's some here.
There's maybe more. And a pump trucks. It's
Oh,
insane.
That is insane.
And that's not even a fraction of the size. It is massive.
And humanitarian assistance. The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier consists of 10 carriers serving as the ultimate symbol of the United States superpower status. These formidable...
Imagine if you come to just take your, go for a cruise
With your
on
canoe.
Your boat. Yeah, with your canoe. But then you just see this big ship.
It's mental.
vessels stand
love
as
how they
true
dress, so
behemoths,
always pristine.
representing unparalleled weapons
Look how big it is.
platforms that outshine all their nearest rivals.
Like a city at
The
sea.
aircraft carriers in this class are the USS Nimitz, USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, USS Carl Vinson, USS Theodore Roosevelt, USS Abraham Lincoln, USS George Washington, USS John C. Stennis, USS Harry S. Truman, USS Ronald Reagan, and USS George H.W. Bush. The lead ship of the U.S. class, USS Nimitz, nicknamed Old Salt,
It's so
That
big.
looks big here.
It looks like a
Huge.
building's floating
Yeah.
past. It's so big.
was commissioned in May 1975, named after Admiral Chester Nimitz, who led the U.S. Navy through World War II. And the last of the class, USS George H.W. Bush, was commissioned in January 2009. At 1,092 feet, the Nimitz-class supercarriers are more than 3 times the length of a football field. And with a crew complement of over 5,000 members, they're essentially floating cities.
5,000
All
people.
the ships of the class are powered by 2 A4W nuclear reactors housed in separate compartments.
Wait.
The reactors produce
run on
heat through
nuclear
nuclear
power.
fission, which heats water to produce steam. These are then passed through 4 turbines, which are then shared by the 2 reactors. A gearbox transmits power to 4 propeller shafts, producing a maximum speed of over 30 knots and a maximum power of 260,000 brake horsepower.
Wow.
The turbines power the 4 bronze propellers,
You
each
thought
with
your
a
car
diameter
was strong.
Yeah, it's a ship. You know what I mean?
Aircraft carrier, actually.
Sorry, aircraft carrier. But how can it go so fast when it's so big?
It's so insane. I watched a video. People fish off there. They get to fish off there sometimes and catch fish.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
of 25 feet and a weight of
Look at the size of the
66,000
propellers.
pounds. Behind these are the two rudders, which are 29 feet high and 22 feet long. As a result of nuclear power, the ships are capable of operating continuously for over 20 years without refueling
Hear that?
and are predicted to have a service life of over 50 years.
20 years. They
These
can go
warships-
to sea for 20 years without getting fuel.
What about food and stuff?
Well, yeah. But I mean, fuel, they could just run for 20 years. That's crazy.
Which have a displacement of 104,000 tons, were all built by Huntington Ingalls Industries Newport News Shipbuilding based in Virginia at a unit cost of approximately $8.5 billion.
I'll take 2, please.
Where are you gonna keep them?
Carrier Air Wing. Of course, the real strength of a carrier lies in its air wing. During the Cold War, carrier air wings were larger than today's. In the 1980s, a typical carrier air wing consisted of 2 squadrons of 12 F-14 Tomcat air superiority fighters, 2 squadrons of 12 FA-18 Hornet multi-role fighters, 1 squadron of 10 A-6 Intruder attack bombers, 1 squadron of 4 to 6 E-2 Hawk.
It's like a
Sorry,
shopping
but
list.
those people are just walking there in between these running planes,
Yeah,
like
but they
nothing
know what
is
they're
going
doing.
on.
They know
like,
it. They professionals. I mean, you got to be special, eh?
that
Yeah.
is- like there's so many people there, and all these planes are moving. Like,
I don't know.
how?
I don't know if it's real, but I saw like when they're landing, sometimes, I don't know if it's always or just sometimes, when they don't make it too much to the ground and they can't stop, then they put like a big net that stops the plane.
I don't know, boy. I haven't seen that before.
I don't know.
Hawkeye airborne early
How badass
warning and
are those
control
pilots,
planes,
though?
10 3A Viking anti-submarine planes, 1 squadron of 4 EA-6B Prowler electronic warfare planes, and a squadron of 6 SH-3 anti-submarine helicopters. With slight variations from carrier to carrier and cruise to cruise, the average Nimitz-class carrier during the Cold War carried between 85 to 90 aircraft.
No
Today,
way.
the carrier air wing looks quite different. Its composition is designed to enable broad striking power hundreds of miles from the carrier's position, while also providing defense in depth for the battle group through the early warning and detection of airborne, surface, and subsurface targets. The current U.S. Navy carrier air wing comprises 4 strike fighter squadrons, each with 10 or 12 FA-18 EF Super Hornets, or 3 Super Hornet squadrons and 1 10 aircraft
Daddy always gets confused when they're like 10 EF, EFG,
Yeah.
Hornets, like...
squadron of F-35C Lightning IIs, totaling over 40 strike fighters. The air wing also includes 1 electronic attack squadron, which is composed of 7 EA-18G Growlers. Additionally, there's 1 carrier airborne early warning squadron equipped with 4 E-2C Hawkeyes or 5 E-2D advanced Hawkeyes. The air wing further includes 1 helicopter C combat squadron with 8 MH-60S Seahawks and 1 helicopter maritime strike squadron with 11 MH-60R Seahawks, with 3 to 5 of them typically based in detachments on other ships of the carrier strike group.
I'd love to see one of these.
A fleet logistics support squadron
is
detachment
what got
comprised
me.
of 2
I was like amazed when I saw that the wings fold. I
Yeah.
was like, wow. Like,
C-2A Greyhounds is also part of the air wing. In 2021, the
Look
new
at those.
CMV-22B Osprey from the newly established Fleet Logistics Multi-Mission
Look at that.
Squadron detachments began to
Whoa.
replace the C-2A Greyhounds.
it's crazy, man.
Like, come on, man.
But that's
this
what-
is some technology.
Well, this
like,
is what everyone always says to me is, this is what they let you see. Imagine what they don't let anybody see because it's top secret, the technology they have.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
scary side. And
So-
like,
this thing, is that a helicopter or a plane?
it's a heliplane. I don't, a helicopter, I think. I don't know. Oh, here's
Nimitz
my
defensive
favorite.
systems. In addition to the aircraft they carry, Nimitz-class aircraft carriers are armed with various sophisticated weapon systems. Among these are 2 or 3 Mark 29 guided missile launching systems. Each of these systems is capable of launching either RIM 162 evolved Sea Sparrow
Scary
missiles
stuff, eh?
or RIM 7 Sea Sparrow missiles. Additionally, Nimitz-class carriers are equipped with 3 or 4 20mm Phalanx 6-barreled Mark 15 close-in weapon system Sea-Whiz installations.
Wait till they shoot. Listen.
These automated gun systems are designed to engage and destroy close-in threats with a remarkable rate of fire of 3,000 rounds per minute.
Listen.
Some Sea-Whiz installations. These automated gun systems are designed to engage and destroy close-in threats with a remarkable rate of fire of 3,000 rounds per minute.
3,000
They're essential components of the carrier's defense mechanism.
That's like
Darren's gonna try to do the math.
unbelievable.
3,000 rounds a minute. That is mental. But
so. If you're shooting for like 10 minutes, I don't.
30,000.
What?
Ensuring
Listen to it. I love the noise.
per
Yeah,
minute.
it's like
They're essential components of the carrier's defense mechanism, ensuring rapid and effective responses to incoming threats. The carriers also feature 2 Mark 49 guided missile launching systems, with each capable of launching REM-116 rolling airframe missiles. The RAM is a quick reaction fire and forget missile system used for close-in defense against anti-ship missiles. Furthermore, the carriers are equipped with Mark 38 25mm machine gun systems, which provide additional close-in defense and are used for engaging surface threats, especially enemy swimmers and fast surface craft.
Imagine being a
Enemy
swimmer.
swimmers.
Imagine being an enemy swimmer. Thinking you must have the biggest balls ever to try and swim up to one of these things.
yeah. Next
I'm
thing
coming to
you know,
get you, mate.
And then next thing you know, in 1 minute.
You gotta be mad.
Nimitz-class
that.
carrier
I
strike
love
group.
that. I love
When
the
an aircraft
formation.
carrier deploys, it takes a carrier strike group, CSG, made up of several other warships and supply vessels that allow the operation to be carried out. The armament of the Nimitz class is made up only of short-range defensive weapons used as a last line of defense against enemy missiles and aircraft. As with all surface ships, an aircraft carrier is particularly vulnerable to attack from below, specifically from submarines. An aircraft carrier is a very expensive, hard to replace, and strategically valuable asset, and therefore it logically has immense value as a target. Due to their high value as targets and vulnerability, aircraft carriers are always accompanied by at least 1 submarine for protection.
You see the submarine?
The other vessels in the strike
Oh,
group
submarines.
Watch. There, in the front.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
They scare me.
Due to their high value as
couldn't go on a
targets and
submarine.
vulnerability, aircraft carriers are always accompanied by at least 1
They also-
submarine
they
for
also,
protection. The other vessels in the strike group offer additional capabilities, such as long-range Tomahawk missiles or the Aegis combat system, and provide defense against potential threats. A typical strike group may consist of the following. In addition to an aircraft carrier, up to 6 surface combatants, including guided missile cruisers and guided missile destroyers, primarily used for anti-aircraft warfare and anti-submarine warfare, as well as frigates warship prior to their retirement from the United States Navy service. When the Navy commissions a new Constellation-class frigate, they'll once again accompany carrier strike groups. Also part of the group are 1 or 2 attack submarines for the purpose of locating and neutralizing hostile surface ships and submarines, as well as an ammunition, oiler, and supply ship provided by Military Sea Lift Command to offer logistical support.
Yeah.
The numbers and types of vessels.
Like, come on, when you look at that picture, that's a pride.
Yeah, that's what
Like-
that's what I mean. It like makes me
Like,
I get all
it's
weird.
a-
I'm like, I get so like I've got pride when I see that, and I don't know why. I'm not even from like the
Yeah.
US. Like that's what I mean. I love these videos, and I love the way the formation and the just
It's
how,
just like so perfectly organized and
And it's
synchronized,
spotless.
and it's like you can see
Yeah.
like they all just like work together, even the little ships and
and
you
they're
know,
ready to protect the world.
Like
'Cause
some-
that's
That is
realistically that's what
What
they do.
incredible.
was it? 2 submarines, 2 helicopters.
Oh well, yeah, they
Like 5 of these boats, and then that big one.
5 of these boats.
Oh,
Those boats are huge as well, boy.
Vessels comprising
They
each
just look
strike
small.
group can vary from group to group
Look at that.
based on
I love
deployments,
it.
missions, and availability.
6 of them.
The end of an era. Pre-planning for the
Like it's
deactivation of the USS Nimitz, currently the
They're
United
retired.
States' oldest active aircraft carrier, is beginning. Nimitz-class carriers were initially designed to have a 50-year service life. At the end of their service life, ships will be decommissioned. This process will first take place on Nimitz and is estimated to cost from $750 to $900 million. This compares with
Just
an
to
estimated
decommission
$53 million for a conventionally powered carrier. Most of the difference in cost is attributed to the deactivation of the nuclear power plants and the safe removal of radioactive material and other contaminated equipment. According to the schedules outlined in the Navy's long-range shipbuilding plan, submitted to the U.S. Congress in March 2023, it now appears that the USS Nimitz will be retired in 2026. Previously, reports indicated that the offloading process would begin in 2025, with the official inactivation of the vessel scheduled for 2027. Following the retirement of the USS Nimitz, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower is expected to retire the following year. Other Nimitz-class aircraft carriers are also waiting for their turn to be retired. Farewell. The Navy plans to replace the Nimitz-class carriers with the Gerald R. Ford-class carriers on a one-for-one basis over the next 3 decades.
3 decades. I think that's it.
Oh, like that is incredible.
I told you, it's awesome. I love it. I would love to go and see one.
I'm not surprised you will.
Such a shame though that they gonna dismantle it.
Well, no, they decommission it. I mean, it's for the age and for the safety, I suppose, because it's like he said, it's such a big target. Like, if like an enemy sinks one of those, it's like catastrophic. It's a real big blow. So they got to make sure they're like in tip-top condition, don't they? But flipping heck, I said when I watched this video, they should turn it into a hotel.
Yeah.
Or something cool like that once they've decommissioned it.
But
or a
funny
museum.
enough, I haven't seen any windows there. Because if there's 5,000 people on the ship, obviously they have to stay somewhere. So I couldn't stay there.
I didn't even look for windows.
I've noticed there's no windows. I didn't see any windows.
I didn't even notice.
Imagine the swimmer.
Yeah. Coming up to try to climb on
2
there.
submarines, like 5 of those.
6.
Yeah, 6.
2 helicopters.
2
You
helicopters.
never know. Maybe he'll be lucky to get on.
Yeah, but even if he gets on.
Yeah, what's he gonna do against 5,000
5,000 people.
soldiers?
Come on, stick them up. Oh, I think they're
Amazing.
awesome. I think they're awesome. And then there's another one with that 13.5 or 13
Wow.
billion.
Wait, are they still-
Now I think we know why you are fascinated.
I
Because
just
like,
think-
that just amazing.
It's like a city at
Like,
sea.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Ruzhenburg, what's the population of our town? About 5,000?
6,000.
10.
Oh, okay.
10. But like, do they have to move these planes when they're trying to take off?
Yeah, like,
Or- Because there's so many
Yeah,
of
obviously
them.
they'll
like,
have to adjust it. But they've got, like I was trying to say, they've got that. They are so trained, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got that down to a T. So if they need to move, it'll be done before you even know it.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
Well, I tell you what, it definitely hooked me on this
And
video.
I don't know why. I was looking at the anvil. No, not the anvil.
Anchor.
That was like bigger than a human.
Oh yeah, much bigger, much bigger. It's like a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad I got to share that with these two because I
That's
think
really
it's freaking
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Peace. Bye.
Bye.